CHS Market Day Report. Let's jump into the markets. By the way, we're working towards the end of the day, which will also signal a 3-day weekend. No markets on Friday in observance of Independence Day. I'm going to start in a little unique place. This market gained 40% in the first 6 months of the year. Rough rice. And we're trading right now in mixed territory. Now, we opened up the session higher on that November contract, but it's peeled back just a little bit. But again, keep an eye on the rice market. It has settled higher 10 out of the last 11 sessions. Oats have been higher the last 2 sessions. We're moving higher here as well. Noticed in the weekly export sales report, some oats getting traded as well. And then we're seeing strength here continuing in the canola market. You look at the top 2 markets in the first 6 months of the year, rice number 1 up 40%, canola second up 25%. All right, from there, let's go to the third best performing market. It was the cotton market. It gained 22% in the first 6 months of the year. December right now down 25 points, 77.59, fairly light trade going on here. And then behind that, it was the wheat market, gaining 20% in the first 6 months. September right now, 603 1/4. It's up 3 1/4. Hard red is trading up 4 1/4 on the September, 639 1/4. After that, soybeans gained 10% in the first half of the year. November, 1149 3/4, up a half penny. And finally, this market finished basically even for the first 6 months. Corn, D's, 2 higher, 444 1/4. That's a lot of markets, a lot of numbers, but here to help us break down what's happening today, Ryan Kelbrants. Ryan's with CHS Hedging. And Ryan, pretty light day of trade, though.
Yeah, it's a little bit slower than we've seen the past few sessions. So, corn, beans, and wheats, they're higher again. We've got a 3-day weekend, and a lot can happen if markets are closed for 3 days. And there's some weather concerns. There's also been a little bit of technical buying, some estimated fund support, as well as some optimism considering U.S.-Chinese trade relations. So there's some optimism that we may see some potential future buying from them, and then weather concerns in part of the United States, mainly out east. But I'll start with export sales here this morning. Not too hot on the wheat and beans, but they were okay on the corn. Corn old crop for 25-26 came in at 732,100 metric tons. The average guess was right around 800,000 there. The bean number was pretty disappointing, 41,800. They're thinking right around 475,000. Meal was a decent number, 239,100. They're thinking right around 200. And oil was a little bit on the negative side, negative 1,500. They're thinking right around 2,500. We did have some wheat sales for 26-27, 300,100 metric tons. That was below the average trade guess of around 450. New crop beans came in at 182. That was below the estimate there. And then the corn number exceeded the average estimate of 750, coming in at 767,800. Meal was a decent number, 174,500 metric tons. They were thinking right around 100. So the combined sales for wheat were a little bit on the negative side. Beans were also on the negative side, and then the corn was a little bit decent too. So we are seeing a weaker U.S. dollar here. Last trading down 652 ticks at 100.742 points. That is the lowest level we've seen since June 18th. So that's supportive to our exports. We've got a few things on the docket, but looking at the weather here too as well, we're going to see through the July 8th, looking at an AI model, a little bit less precipitation. Southern Minnesota, northern Iowa, and parts of Wisconsin, Michigan, they're going to see a little bit above average. But if you look at Illinois, Missouri, Indiana, Ohio, they're going to see a little bit less, and then the temperatures are going to be above average in much of the United States as well too. So on the docket, we're not going to see commitment of traders tomorrow, obviously because of the holiday. So that'll be out on Monday afternoon along with crop progress and conditions, and then we'll see export inspections as well. And then a lot of eyes are going to be waiting on the next Friday, July 10th. We're going to see the next WASDE report from the USDA.
Yeah, just about the time we thought, well, we're through the big reports. We're going to key up a few more here. So, Ryan, thanks
we keep going.
Yeah, thanks for coming by. Enjoy the long weekend. Ryan Kelbrants, CHS Hedging. Back with more markets on Market Day Report.